Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on an industry that honestly shapes almost every moment of your day. We're talking about the massive, often invisible world of retailing. From your morning coffee to that thing you bought online late last night, it is the engine that powers our entire consumer world. All right, let's jump right in with a little thought experiment. Imagine you want a can of Pepsi. Simple enough, right? But what if in this world, there are no retailers, no supermarkets, no corner stores, no vending machines, nothing? How in the world do you get that soda?
Well, you'd have to figure out where the nearest Pepsi bottling plant is and go get it yourself. Now, think about that. Imagine doing that for everything. For milk, for bread, for light bulbs, for your socks. It sounds completely absurd, but this little problem perfectly illustrates the enormous fundamental challenge that retailing solves for us every single day.
And that brings us right to the hero of our story, the retailer. They are the final and absolutely crucial link in what's called the distribution channel, which is really just a fancy term for the journey a product takes from the factory floor all the way into your home.
So what is retailing really? Officially, it's all the activities that go into selling goods and services directly to us, the people who are actually going to use them. See, retailers don't usually make the stuff. They're the expert middlemen who buy products from the makers and then sell them to you and me.
But here's the thing. Retailers do way more than just put things on a shelf. They're actually performing at least 6 essential jobs for all of us. They create an assortment, so you have choices. They buy in bulk, which helps keep prices down. They store inventory, so the product is right there when you want it. They provide convenience, offer extra services, and they even act as a channel for our feedback to get back to the manufacturers.
Okay, so let's take a quick tour of this vast and pretty varied retail ecosystem. It's a huge world out there, but you can basically split it into 2 main camps that you'll recognize right away.
You've got your classic store retailers, the physical brick-and-mortar places you actually walk into. And then you have this exploding world of non-store retailing. That's everything from the website you're browsing to a catalog you get in the mail.
And even within those big categories, different retailers have totally different playbooks. You've got superstores like Target. Their whole game is to be your one-stop shop. Then there are the so-called category killers like Best Buy, who just want to dominate one specific area. You've got off-price retailers like TJ Maxx that make shopping feel like a treasure hunt. And of course, warehouse clubs like Costco that reward you for buying in huge quantities. Let's look a little closer at the superstore. By mashing up a supermarket with a department store, they're making a huge bet on ultimate convenience. The whole idea is to capture all of your shopping in one trip. They get you in the door to buy milk, hoping you'll also walk out with a new TV. Then you have the category killers. Think about a place like Home Depot. Their selection is so ridiculously deep and their prices are so competitive because they buy in such massive volumes that it becomes almost impossible for a smaller local hardware store to keep up. And this shows a completely different strategy. Off-price retailers work by buying up all the stuff that big brands overordered or made too much of, and they get it at a huge discount. For us, the shopper, that creates this treasure hunt experience, right? You might find some amazing brand name thing for way less, but the inventory is changing constantly.
And on the non-store side of things, we're not just talking about Amazon anymore. Retailing is getting incredibly creative, almost futuristic. I mean, look at Carvara's multi-story car vending machines. You buy a car online, and then you go pick it up from a giant automated glass tower. It's a wild peek into the future of automated retail.
So here's the most important thing to get. None of this happens by accident. The kind of store it is, the prices you see, where it's located, every single part of your shopping experience is shaped by very specific, very calculated strategic decisions.
Let's start with the most basic decision of all, price. And the key concept here is the markup. Simply put, it's the amount of money a retailer adds to the price of a product they bought. That money has to cover all their own costs, like rent and payroll and, of course, hopefully, make a little profit. It's a pretty simple formula. Let's say a shoe store buys a pair of sneakers from the manufacturer for $50. If they decide on a 50% markup, the price tag you see on the shelf becomes $75. That extra $25 is the markup. That's what keeps the lights on.
The second huge decision is location. And trust me, this is a science. Retailers analyze traffic data, local demographics, you name it, to find the perfect spot. A shop in a downtown business district is trying to capture foot traffic from office workers, while a massive standalone superstore is betting on being a destination that people will intentionally drive to. Each choice is a different strategic bet.
So where is all this headed?
Let's talk about the future, because the retail industry is changing faster right now than maybe at any other point in history. It's really incredible to watch.
I mean, you can see these huge shifts happen every few decades. First, department stores pop up. Then supermarkets take over. In the 90s, online shopping suddenly becomes a thing. Then social media creates entirely new ways for companies to sell to us. And of course, the pandemic in 2020 put the accelerator to the floor on blending the online and physical shopping worlds.
And that last point is just massive. This idea of social commerce, where you see a product on Instagram or TikTok and you can buy it right there without ever leaving the app, it is absolutely exploding. It grew by 30% in a single year. That's insane.
And this is all playing out in a few major trends you're probably already seeing. The biggest buzzword is omnichannel, which just means your experience online and in-store should feel like one seamless thing. Think about buying something online and then picking it up curbside. That's omnichannel. Throw in the constant push for same-day delivery and the ease of digital wallets, and you can see how our expectations as shoppers are being totally rewired.
But what's really interesting is that as technology pushes retail in one direction, you see these fascinating counter-trends pop up. You've got stores like Pre-Cycle in Brooklyn. Their entire business is built around consumer values. They sell locally sourced goods in bulk with a promise of zero plastic packaging. It's a really powerful response to the way things are going.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. As technology makes shopping more efficient, more automated, more data-driven than ever before, is it possible that the most successful retailers of the future will actually be the ones who figure out how to connect with us on a more human, more value-driven level? That, right there, is the big question shaping the next chapter of retail.